Kintsugi Koko here. Welcome to my quirky, eclectic blog. I just took my Celtic sea salt and I just almost inhaled a grain of it. Woo-wee bob. Don't recommend that at home. Hope everyone's doing lovely today. Yes, I know. I got a scuff on my chin. I went to a 5-year-old's birthday party on Sunday and we went swimming, and funny story, 95% of females probably did this as children and just stopped doing it. We like to swim like mermaids, you guys. And I was mermaid swimming so hard, I propelled myself to the bottom of the pool really quickly and I scuffed my chin. I have a little bruise and a little scuff. It's okay. It's healing very fast. It does tender still. Tender to the touch. But we'll be alright. I will survive. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. I had, like I just mentioned, the 5-year-old's birthday party was my cousin. Then my niece had her 4th birthday on Saturday. So it was a weekend full of parties for moi. Homegirl definitely got chocolate wasted on some cake. I had a chocolate cupcake at my niece's birthday party with some vanilla bean ice cream. I don't know, something about eating a cupcake with vanilla ice cream, a chocolate cupcake specifically with vanilla ice cream, hits the spot. It's not my favorite, but it hits the spot when it's provided. And then the next day at my cousin's party, we had more chocolate cake. So we were definitely chocolate wasted by the end of the weekend because that's a lot of chocolate cake. I don't really even eat sweets like that, y'all. I get my sweet tooth from eating cherries, dried cherries, or, just took out my light, or fruit, juice. I'm not really a big candy person or cake person. Every once in a while, though, we do indulge, but not all the time. It's a very, very rare treat of ours. We don't do as much as I feel like a lot of people do. And I guess it's not criticism of you guys because some people be having sweet, sweet tooths. And actually, you know what I learned too? It kind of ties into your ancestry and like your lineage of where you come from, which I found very interesting. I think it said if you are generally from Euro-based backgrounds, you tend to have a sweeter tooth. Where if you are from, I think it was like Asian, probably African, you have more of a savory palate, which I thought was pretty interesting. I could be incorrect too. I don't have the information pulled up in front of me. And I do have a lot of information here, but sometimes things get crosswired. And that is A-okay, because at least we tried. But I found that very interesting. I had learned about that, gosh, a year and a half ago. It's been a minute. But yeah, you know, it's A-okay. That's what makes me me. But I've always been that way too. I remember when I was a little girl, we always had gardens for like our fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. I was born in South Dakota, so it made it easier if you had your own produce grown in your yard instead of having to drive to the next store. However, I remember my grandmother would send me and my cousin out to pick the ready fruit out of the bushes, and she would always get so mad and come back crying because I would eat more than I would actually put in the bucket. I have always loved my fruit, and I don't even like, if my fruit's cold, I have to let it sit out so it gets warm. I don't like cold refrigerated fruit. I like to have it room temperature, how it is outside. And I remember one time we visited my sister's grandparents' farm, and they used to grow potatoes. And I would pluck a potato out of the ground and just like brush it off and then just eat it without washing it or anything. But, I have a really strong immune system, and I take very good care of my body by making sure it gets all the minerals and nutrients it needs, i.e., the Celtic sea salt I just almost inhaled. We take it before we drink our water. And ever since we started doing this, we have been more hydrated than we ever have in our entire life. And I think that's pretty dang dope. Especially when you had bad habits that really dehydrate your body. It's good to rehydrate it. But I wanted to point out, because I know I mentioned, I think it was Friday, I went and seen at the church the really cool tarot in the church ceiling of like the angel, the eagle, the bull, and the lion, right? And I pointed out that it resembled the Wheel of Fortune card. And I was doing my tarot reads this morning, and I noticed the world also has the same emblems. Like these ones are, they all have books. So they're all, I don't know how necessarily. So the clouds resemble like a transition period, right? Like this too shall pass kind of deal. But I think it's really interesting. Like they're reading from white texts. So they're absorbing higher knowledge in the waiting period, And then if you look at this one, sorry, I keep taking the light off my face. The eagle is in a white cloud, where all the other ones are in gray clouds. And I never noticed this until this morning. And I tend to notice a lot of details. A lot of times, too, though, when I do my tarot reads, I'm not paying attention to every single little aspect in the cards. And I, like a lot of things, I'm self-taught. And so, and even still, I feel like anyone who does tarot is self-taught. Like, it's a very, not niche, but everyone does it their own way. And everyone receives the input their own way, right? I found that very interesting that I never noticed that. But it kind of just gave me the vibe of rising above, The eagle soars the highest in the sky, flies the highest, prevents any other predator birds from attacking them because he can just keep going up, I found that very interesting because the gray clouds symbolize transition periods, where it's like the white clouds bringing in the clarity, the eagle keen sight. And I also thought it was very interesting. So, like, I had the cards like this. I thought it was really funny because then now Anubis and the lady. Oh, I guess she's Nike. Sorry. They're looking at each other. You can't even really... You know what? I don't understand. I find it very humorous. And okay, let me finish that thought. I noticed watching back my videos, I tend to not finish my thoughts because I get so excited about my next thought. And that's a-okay because squirrel. Anywho. However, we'll do this. Anubis and her are looking right at each other. And I thought that was pretty cool. And what was this? Oh, yeah. I know this is a wreath, but I found it very interesting that they use red cord. So if anyone believes in the red string theory, found that very interesting that they use red cord. But it also kind of reminded me of the snake that wraps around the world holding in the waters. You know what I mean? Nordic mythology, Loki's son, I can't remember his name. Oh, I have the book here. Maybe it's in here. His son is the snake that binds the waters to the earth. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. It popped out. Anywhooser. He holds all the waters in. And it's really cool because if you look at the map of the world and you put it on satellite and you look down by where the tip of South America almost touches Antarctica, the bottom of the seafloor happens to look like a snake. And there's a string of islands that are like the nose of the snake. I think that's pretty dope, not gonna lie. All right, let me see if... I find it very interesting. It said page 213 is the story of Loki. However, 213 talks about Balder, not Loki. Alrighty. Well, you know, I can't see it. But, you know, I find it very beautiful that Loki was just a lover of everyone. You know what I'm saying? Anyone knows his stories. Homeboy was loving on horses. He was loving on giants. He loved everyone and everything. Literally. And that cracks me up. But yeah. You know, today's video is kind of just a little wonky. Actually, you know what? Since I'm wearing my Marvel, I'll show you my Loki memorabilia. So, I have a boastful Loki. What are these called? I know they're pop. What are they called? Funko Pops. There you go. I don't collect Funko Pops. However, we love us Loki. So we found boastful Loki and was like, hell yeah! And then, I don't know about y'all. I grew up with an uncle who is about 10 years older than me. Pretty sure he's 10 years. Yeah, he's 10 years older than me. And he was like my big brother, and I loved having him as my big brother. But he was upset. Well, he wasn't obsessed, but he had a big collection of Hot Wheels. So, obviously, if my big brother played with Hot Wheels, I started playing with Hot Wheels as a little kid. Love me some Hot Wheels. I've always been obsessed with cars. And I have a Loki Hot Wheel. It's kind of hard to see with my light. Ain't she a beaut? She's gorgeous. So stunning. It's a Scopa de Fuego. Wait, Scupa de Fuego. I'm sorry. Made in Thailand. That's pretty dope. But yeah, this was one from 2009. It's pretty flippin' cool. I love my Loki stuff. Oh, but you know, ironically, he's not. Well, this is an older style, classic comic book style Marvel hoodie. I've had this for years, you guys. Ironically, back in the day, around the time of my previous wedding anniversaries, we, as in Marvel, Marvel would always release a film at the same time. So it became a tradition to get hot wings and then go watch a Marvel film. The first film I ever watched that got me hooked, because I have to say, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't always a Marvel girl. Started out DC. Had some He-Man, some Wonder Woman. So, but Hulk was my first Marvel film, and I was like, this is pretty dope. And then it just kind of took off from there. So, yeah, I am off to bed. We have we have a big day tomorrow. We have a lot going on. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you big much. Toodaloo.